Hello, and welcome back to another great conversation. Today, we are highlighting another premier partner of Joseph Michael Solutions. It is my great pleasure to introduce. A lot of you probably know already who he is and the company, but I'd love to introduce Touchpoint One and Greg Silvato. Greg, thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing
Thanks,
today?
Patrick. Doing great. It is uh, my greater pleasure to be with you today. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, Greg, we've known each other for like 6 years, if not more. It's funny. I worked for Casey Costeca, and funniest guy I've ever worked with. I mean, a guy will have you in stitches the whole time. And I was introduced to you by Casey, and I was actually so intrigued and blown away by your technology, what you had 6 years ago, right? I mean, it was like a cool concept. Tell me a little bit about your Acuity and what's going on today with with some of the platform.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So Acuity has been around the platform's been around for a good 10 plus years. Touchpoint One is the company name. Acuity is our performance management and employee engagement platform. And yeah, its roots, and I would say this is still the case today, is in performance management. So all of the conventional capabilities that come with that, we are aggregating disparate systems data from all the different systems that are relevant to CX operations. We're bringing them into a central data store. We're assimilating that data within the context of our clients' proprietary business rules, and then we're using that to generate reports, dashboards, and everything else that are sort of fundamental to managing customer contact operation. So that's the foundation. It's been the foundation for many, many years, and then we've built a variety of modules and feature functionality on top of that platform, from all the stuff you hear about from a gamification standpoint, which we do a lot of cool things there. Workforce coaching. We've always done a lot in quality management, essentially digitizing those processes around quality assurance and quality management. And that's one of the key areas where we're really embedding a lot of generative AI capabilities in today, which is a really exciting area for us. So that's kind of the lay of the land from A to Z at this point.
Well, that's a 60,000 foot view. I asked for a 30,000 foot view.
How deep into the weeds would you like to get, and where would you like to start,
Hey,
Patrick?
listen, I appreciate it. Hey, I want to talk about your A game, from the on the Acuity platform, just for a second, because um, tell me a little bit about that, and then really what it's used for, and what type of company would be a good fit for using that particular platform.
Yeah, well, A game and A game league specifically, and even that, the foundation of that started 10 years ago, because we're actually celebrating right now A game Gridiron season 10. And this is a solution for companies that are looking for ways to address attrition and employee engagement and performance, quiet quitting, distrust in organizations by employees, and all those things that really undermine performance and cause friction and problems in a customer contact organization. More recently, so just quick explanation, but A Game Leagues is a gamification platform that transforms contact centers into competitive sort of leagues. So we create round robin tournaments where supervisors are coaches and the agents are players. It's a very team-based competition, not so much individual agent level. It's the individual agents who are on the starting lineups for the weekly matchups. Their performance is contributing to their team's performance. And every week there's a winning and a losing team. So it's a very natural structure and model for contact centers, because they're kind of structured that way anyway. Again, coaches are, or supervisors are coaches, and the agents are players.
Right, right.
But what we did, which is the coolest thing for me, is that we added a layer called A Game Extreme. And so we take the fantasy sports model and we allow senior leaders, executive leaders to draft a fantasy team of agents, and they're competing in a sort of shadow competition against the other extreme team owners in the same way that the supervisors are. And the cool thing about this is just that, we are bringing together parts of the organization, stakeholders within the CX organization that just don't have an opportunity to connect, being senior leaders and frontline agents. So it really reinforces the connectedness in the organization, recognition, support, camaraderie, belonging, all those things that really sort of create sort of that family type of structure that, so people understand that they're valued, they're recognized, they're seen. And the great thing is that it makes a huge impact on things like attrition, performance, engagement, that impact, CX performance. So we love it. It's a lot of fun, and we love to see senior leaders really getting engaged in the process of employee engagement and employee experience in a way that just wasn't possible before.
Yeah, the interesting thing is a lot of companies on their, they really want what they want and what actually happens are sometimes two different things, right? They really want, and they tout it on their site, on their website, and they try to have executive engagement from, you know, from the top leaders to the, um, frontline customer service agents, and everything in between. But it's funny because a lot of times there's a miss because there really isn't an apparatus that can help facilitate that. I mean, what do I pick? Just listen on calls for a junior agent or something. I mean, from an executive perspective, or I was so blown away by the um, A game Acuity platform, how it's run like a they get to pick the starting lineup. They get to and you guys have several sports, right? So you have football, which is going on right now, right? And what else you have? You have basketball.
Yeah, A Game Hoops is the basketball themed version. So just about every sport that you can imagine, we have a skin or theme for. And then there's lots of non-sports themes. So we're going to be transitioning here shortly to a new one we have called Unicorn Quest. It's going to be kind of a unicorn fantasy thing, but there's A Game Tiki Beach, A Game Dragons. A Game Dragons is actually features our company mascot, Mr. Business, you can see right here.
Nice.
I won't go into the plot line, the storyline for that, but it's quite silly and quite fun. But again, it's just a another mechanism to bring people together, bring that collaboration together, heighten awareness
Right.
around KPIs that matter, and move the needle on attrition and connectedness within organizations to improve customer experience and business results in the operations.
Yeah. There's a couple things you just hit on. Number one, a better experience for the customer, and also attrition is a profit killer. Most companies they're trying to hit their numbers, and then if someone leaves because they're not happy or they're not very engaged, then you have to continuously train new agents all the time, and that's very costly. First of all, second of all, the information and the knowledge that they have as a new agent versus a seasoned agent, it's night and day, and it directly affects the customer experience, right? Because you got a new person. So I love the tie-in here with number one, giving, if someone has an issue with attrition, they should probably be thinking about looking at this platform. The other thing is if they're looking for a better way to have executive engagement from the C level all the way down, that's another great way to do it with this platform, and it creates a very fun, healthy competition. And then the other thing that we were talking a little bit before, and this is something you've been working on for a while, is your auto QA. Tell me a little bit about what that's all about, and I'll let you. Instead of me talking, I'd much rather hear you talk.
Sounds good. Well, yeah, I mean, as far as areas where AI has just demonstrated a really proven way to cut costs and improve services, auto QA has been just a home run for us. Um, Now, before I get into that, I do also have to say, I will, visit with clients and walk, contact center floors. And one of the things, going just back to gamification, a game leagues, the extreme layer of it, just very quickly, is like, I want, and I think, all senior leaders, want, let's say happy agents. And nobody wants to walk the floor and have a conversation with an agent that's just, isn't, and maybe happy isn't the right term, but at least not unhappy. And it'll happen sometimes. And so you really want to sort of bring tools to bear any way possible that that address that issue. And there's no question that, especially if you're working at home, you may have some relationship with your supervisor, but generally speaking, you're pretty isolated. So any way that we can reinforce again that connectedness with another member of the workforce, has a vested interest in your success and interest in a mechanism to sort of reinforce you, even if it's sort of like cheerleading and just being there. That's the thing that seems like is the most important to me. Yeah, the business outcomes are important, the customer experience metrics, all those things are important. But it's that happiness in the disposition of the agent that generates that outcome. So
Right,
just
right.
one parting note on that. Now on auto QA, like I said, I mean, we've been working with generative AI and different forms of AI for a couple of years. And we've been doing quality management and quality assurance for 10 plus years. As I said, we've been digitizing processes around that for a long time as part of a core module within the Acuity platform. So we understand the domain really well, especially when it comes down to really complex types of workflows and scorecards and algorithms behind those scorecards and all of the compliance and regulation that goes with that. So some vendors out there would kind of make it seem like this is a really easy thing to stand up and do. And in some ways, it is easier now than it ever was. But if you don't understand the domain, you're going to run into a lot of problems and limitations with what you're doing with this. So we
Sure.
come to with the domain expertise in the first place, paired with generative AI. It's been amazing for us because we can it's one of those areas where for companies who are really challenged with budgets and constraints there and costs, there is very much a direct possibility to reduce headcount very, very quickly, an order of magnitude,
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that because we were talking before, and you said something is like a lot of times, and you can also do this through attrition as well. But if you have 50 people doing QA, you could actually in a very short time have that only go down to 5 people, correct?
Yeah, the five people you have left are going to have to be your super experts because they're also the ones that are
Right,
going to be, the humans in the loop, as it were, to maintain, the accuracy and effectiveness of the AI. But it's all you're going to need. You're going to be able to manage budgets, very well. If you want to auto QA 100% of your calls, have at it. If you want to, kind of control your budget by doing X number of calls per month, you can do that. If you want to fluctuate, you can do that. It's not a subscription based, traditional software as a service type of
right.
offering, complete utility usage based system. So you have that, and you're going to be able to probably reduce your cost for QA in general by 80% for what you are QAing, and then you're going to reduce your staff as
Yeah, because
much
you're
as you.
QAing 100% of the calls, right? Or whatever number of calls that you want. You have the
Yeah,
ability to do that.
yeah, I mean, you can control that based on your budget. So, and the
That's
cost
great.
to do this just come down dramatically. So
Boy, have things changed since we first met, huh? Just
yeah.
the technology, uh, the efficiency that it drives in organizations. Now that's the thing that I look at from a perspective of being a business owner myself is saying, hey, what is Am I going to implement something that's going to, number one, increase morale, right, which is the Acuity platform, and then how do I get the QA done in a very efficient manner? People aren't taking breaks. They're not going on vacation. They're not calling in sick. By using the platform, it really helps dramatically reduce costs in that area, but it gives you a lot of great information. Great stuff. Hey, Greg, thanks so much for being willing to take part of your afternoon, and I'm excited for you, and I'm excited, again. Um, the reason why I'm doing this is really to highlight some of our premier partners, and last, a few weeks ago, we talked a little bit about Humash. They are phenomenal. They won the
I
United
watched the
Healthcare
episode with you and Tim did a
United
great
Healthcare
job.
piece for their innovation challenge. And then from here, we're talking about another, incredible technology that helps with reducing attrition, helps employee engagement, and executive engagement. So if you're struggling with one of those areas right there, I want you to click on the link in this post and let me know that what you would like to talk about, and then I'll be happy to arrange a demo of Greg and his platform, and I think you'll be blown away, just like I am. Hey, Greg, thanks again. I appreciate you coming on with us, and I look forward to many more of these great conversations.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right, appreciate it, man. Talk to you.
All right. Bye bye now. Have a good one.